Sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow to red and yellow and pink and green, orange and purple and blue. I can see a rainbow, and that rainbow is you.
What's up, guys? It's Derrick with the Houston Freethinkers. We are live in New York City here with Dub FX for his first show in New York. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing amazing, man. I'm really pumped.
How's it been so far in the city?
It's been wicked. I've been here once before, just on a holiday, and this time I managed to play some shows, which is great. You know, like I got to play on the street today and muster up some energy for a club show. So I'm well enthusiastic.
Well, you just killed it, man. You bring in the energy, the consciousness, the message of love. We've been going around the country for the past year and a half asking all types of people a couple of questions, and I'd like to ask you those same questions because I think you have something to say. What does freedom mean to you?
Well, freedom is, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you make your own freedom. That's how I see it, you know, like, you know, we can all go on about the system and, you know, there's Illuminati and, you know, the Twin Towers and all this shit and like all these conspiracies and stuff. But at the end of the day, the only person stopping you from being free is yourself. You know, you can make whatever you want happen, and that's basically how I view it. So if you're complaining about not being free, it's because you've not unlocked something up there.
Exactly. We're the only ones that can set ourselves free. Exactly. So what I noticed that you have a necklace that has the circle with the A in it. That's usually for anarchy. What does that symbol mean to you?
Well, you know, traditionally anarchy is like, you know, anti-establishment, anti-rules, anti-this, anti-that. But I, again, apply it inwardly. For me, it's more about anarchy of the mind, you know, breaking down the boundaries, breaking down the rules of what you think, what we're born into. We kind of have these preconceptions of how we're supposed to be. And for me, it took a long time for me to understand that, you know, to break free of that is the most important thing, you know. And I broke free of that when I was about 16 years old, and I realized I don't have to be the person that I was expecting to be, you know, growing up. And so for me, anarchy is more an inward thing. It's more, you know, just like spirituality, it's the same vibe.
It's got to start inside, man, of course. So just one last thing. There are people of all ages who listen to your music and appreciate your message and who are looking and searching for their own freedom, externally, internally. Any words of advice or solutions that you have for people listening in their search for freedom?
Well, I mean, it all starts now, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, if you feel like you're not in a happy place and you feel like you're bogged down with external things, then, you know, the first thing I would say is to remove yourself. I mean, a big thing that happened for me was I read up on Buddhism, you know, and, you know, it's quite an airy-fairy thing to say, oh, I'm a Buddhist and all this and all that, and, you know, the main thing I got out of that was how one of the philosophies is to remove the obstacles that are in your path. And I'm quite cutthroat with that. If there are people that in my life that don't serve me a purpose, whether that's because they're, you know, like just don't serve me a purpose, then I just don't associate myself with those people. I mean, it might be that if they're funny, then that's a purpose. You know what I mean? If they're good vibe, that's purpose. But if all they do is fucking suck the life out of me, then I ditch them. And I'm really quite harsh actually about that stuff. I don't deal with idiots. I don't drink alcohol. I don't take a lot of drugs. I mean, I smoke weed and I do acid and all. I mean, I do things in moderation. I don't do things every day. And I think, you know, the big thing for me was when I stopped drinking alcohol and when I started going to parties hanging out with my friends, I started realizing that a lot of my friends are douchebags when they drink. And I don't want to be like that, and I don't want to be around those kinds of people. And so it was really hard letting go of a lot of school friends even, and a lot of people in my life which I thought were really close to me. But once I just once I started traveling and I had to recreate myself and I had to make new friends, that's when I chose to, you know, just kind of reinvent myself and be around people that I just would inspire me. And that's basically the only way you can break free, is to be around people that inspire you.
For sure. You heard it from Dub FX. Stay conscious, no time for bullshit. Only put people in your life who have a purpose, and find freedom inside. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.